It is a time of unrest as unstructured data plagues databases throughout the metaverse. To bring balance, a new group of heroes emerge, IQ Equity, intent on connecting data across multiple ontologies and taxonomies. Armed with the right software, our heroes' mission to tell data stories to clients around the world begins. Our story starts with these 5 simple spreadsheets in a hierarchical database: characters, occupation, media, planets, and region. Each of these datasets is a taxonomy, and the content within is a control vocabulary. This content has had nomenclature applied, a system for naming things. Without this critical process, the content will not be in a structured state. The next chapter will show adding relationships between the control vocabularies in a relational database, as in this hierarchical database, there are no connections that can be ascertained. Our journey continues as the datasets are imported into the relational database. The datasets are connected by creating a set of linked fields: characters to planets, characters to occupation, and characters to media. This is known as a schema map. The cells are populated with records from the link tab, either one or many. Going back into a character record can then show multiple linked relationships. This is not an ideal way of visually expressing these relationships, however. A knowledge graph is required, which will be explained in a few chapters' time. The next chapter will show how 2 datasets become enhanced with metadata through ontologies and open link data. Our journey now explores enhancing the control vocabularies, characters and planets, using different ontologies. The ontologies used are a set of thesauruses and an atlas. The enriched field content in a control vocabulary is known as metadata, which makes searching, finding, and working with the data more accessible for humans and machines. Another method to enhance the control vocabularies is to data harvest the metadata using a 3 open linked database source, in this use case Wikidata. The alternative would be using a paid linked database source or behind the firewall database. The next chapter will show exploring the data in a knowledge graph. Our journey now consists of visualizing the data using the same linked fields from a relational database and mapping them in a knowledge graph. A few additional one-to-many relationships are created within the character tab or node table. From this, we obtain sets of RDF triples that contain a subject, object, and predicate. The subject and object can be interchangeable. The predicate names are a set of labels from schema.org, a global control vocabulary. Even with a small dataset, this can create thousands of triples. Seeing the data visualized in this way gives more profound insight into the data that cannot be expressed easily in a relational database. Using the information on a website tells search engines what this data means and what to return, SEO. The next chapter will show repurposing the relational database into a visual interface. This stage in our journey combines all previous chapters, relational databases, ontologies, and knowledge graphs, and repurposes the data in a visual interface. The top of the interface uses the character data visualized as a profile. The knowledge graph record has also been added as a button link. Scrolling down, we can see all the related data links to occupation, media, and planets, along with planets' relationship to the region. This data can also be expressed through various chart types for more precise insights. Any comments added to a record are automatically fed into the database. The next chapter will show how this data relates to other ontologies in conjunction with product sales. Our journey concludes by taking all this enriched and connected data and applying it to product selling. Whether it's linking a DVD to an external film database ontology, or a book to an external book database ontology, the data is enriched even further with metadata when connecting these databases in the knowledge graph. Combined with everything covered previously, customers will find the products easier to search for and retrieve, generating sales. Next and finally, there will be a summary covering each chapter's significant points. IQ Equity help aspiring Padawans become data Jedis. None of us want to be consumed by the dark side of data, commonly called metacrap. After all, when data becomes findable, accessible, interoperable and reusable, we can all have Jedi powers, however you want or need to interact with data, content and analytics. Talk to us about becoming a nomenclature Jedi, and as always, may the data force be with you.
Do or do not. There is no try.